I started out many years ago as a technician in a college. I progressed through several companies to more and more senior positions. I've worked for Xerox for 15 years and more recently did some consultancy for Intel as an IT project manager. I progressed through several companies to more and more senior positions. I felt God saying it was time to do something different, and He actually told me to quit, which is a very difficult decision to make, and it took me about 6 months thinking, praying, and perhaps fighting with God over that, and eventually I decided that it was God telling me to quit, and I did.
We shouldn't just pigeonhole missions as people who are just out there on the streets, who are the only ones who are the preachers and the teachers.
There's huge need in our organization for people to be active in working in IT, in communications.
I had no idea that there was a need for IT within missions, so that was a bit of a revelation for me. And actually walking into the IT department and into the server room, I kind of feel like it's home.
I think when people think of a missionary, they think of someone going out to the deepest, darkest jungle of Africa.
I don't think we've begun to realise what possibilities there are in using IT in missions.
Using technology like an iPhone so that we can track where our teams are and what they're doing.
I think, the younger generation, because of the IT revolution, are far more living in the moment and wanting to respond in the moment.
The technology's growing day by day, and so we're able to do much, much more with all the tools and technology.
All because of internet. It's an amazing opportunity.
It's a pretty vital role, but it's not one that's necessarily is really out on the forefront. It's more behind the scenes. But it's like the Bible says, we're a body and we need all the different parts to work together. And if one part isn't working right, then it definitely affects everyone else.
IT are responsible for ensuring that there's a good communications infrastructure and network available.
It's really changed the way that we do missions. It's changed the way that we communicate.
I think that IT has a place in missions, certainly in terms of mobilising people.
So as long as you have an internet connection with your phone, it's amazing what you can do with that one little device or a tablet.
If power went down in the server room here, you'd pretty quickly figure out how important IT was to missions.
And I can remember we, particularly on one occasion, wanted to be in touch with several people. So we have quite a large mailing list that we email out to regularly, at least once a week. And you can't do that, then it's enormously frustrating.
We may have no other way to contact someone other than a Skype address or an email address.
I have to close the office, and because I couldn't do anything, because most of my work is dealing with the computer.
Our ISP decided to get rid of our IP addresses, and they started giving them away to other people. So we had to work about 2 days straight without sleep to readdress all of our network, all the servers, printers, photocopiers, everything.
You did something last week and you can't do anything this week, and you've got to wait another week, which is quite a long time really when you're just giving a day a week.
It took us about 2 days of sleepless nights to get that wrapped up.
It was very frustrating.
And part of me rejoices, I must confess, because I think, I haven't got to deal with all those emails that might come in.
Everyone looks to you to get it back up or to figure out what's gone wrong. So there can be a lot of pressure to act quickly and respond quickly.
It's harder to let people know what we're doing in the mission field.
It's challenging when you're trying to work on something and there's other things or other emergencies going on. Oftentimes you're trying to work on a long-term solution, but the urgent stuff just drags you away from it. So
it's frustrating that you'd like to be able to help them, but the issue is outside of our control within this IT department.
This day and age, not having a website, you would lose most of your people.
Sometimes within 10, 15 minutes, we have people coming back on our system. So if we didn't have that internet connection, then we'd be putting things in the post.
Even though it would only go back a few years in time, it would go back very, very far in what we've been able to do.
We need more people who have got an interest in this area.
Without IT, I think things would run a lot slower.
What I've seen of IT here so far, it's more in the sending and the enabling and the empowering people.
I work in a support role where I help everyone else to do what they should be doing.
I enjoy sending people away with a smile.